Picture this. It is a Saturday morning. You are sitting at your kitchen table with coffee going cold in your mug. Your phone is open to your bank app. The number staring back at you is $53,000. You have been saving for 4 years, cutting back on dinners out, skipping vacations, driving the same car with the check engine light that never seems to matter. You have been doing everything right, and yet you have no idea when this money will actually become enough. You do not know when it will double. You do not know when it will turn into real wealth. You just know it is sitting there, growing, slowly, invisibly, like watching paint dry on a wall you cannot even see. This is the curse of passive saving. You are doing the work, but you have no map, no timeline, no clarity. But here is what the banks do not want you to know. There is a formula, a simple, elegant, ancient piece of math that will tell you exactly when your money will double. It is called the Rule of 72, and it will change how you think about every dollar you save for the rest of your life. My name is Bobby, and I spend way too much time thinking about the lies we tell ourselves about money. If you are someone who has been saving diligently but has no concrete sense of when your wealth will actually grow, if you look at investment options and freeze because the math feels overwhelming, if you have left money in a savings account because it feels safe, even though deep down you know it is doing nothing, this conversation is for you. Today we are going to break down the one formula that cuts through all the noise. We are going to talk about how long it actually takes to double your money at different rates. We are going to expose the brutal reality of where your cash is dying right now. And we are going to show you exactly how to use time as a weapon instead of letting it work against you. Let me give you the formula first. Then we will unpack why it matters. The Rule of 72 says this. Take the number 72, divide it by your annual rate of return. The answer is how many years it will take for your money to double. That is it. No spreadsheets, no financial advisor, no complex calculator, just one number divided by another. If you are earning 6% per year, divide 72 by 6. You get 12. Your money doubles in 12 years. If you are earning 8% per year, divide 72 by 8. You get 9. Your money doubles in 9 years. If you are earning 10% per year, divide 72 by 10. You get 7.2. Your money doubles in just over 7 years. This formula has existed for over 500 years. It was first documented by an Italian mathematician named Luca Pacioli in 1494. Not in some obscure academic journal, in a practical handbook for merchants. Because even then, people understood that clarity about growth was power. The reason it works is rooted in the mathematics of compound interest. When your money earns a return, that return gets reinvested. Then the return earns its own return. This is exponential growth. And exponential growth does not behave the way linear growth does. It accelerates. The Rule of 72 is an approximation. It is most accurate for rates between 6 and 10%. But even outside that range, it gives you a mental model that is close enough to make smart decisions fast. Here is why this matters. Most people have no sense of scale when it comes to investment returns. They hear 8% and think it sounds decent. They hear 12% and think it sounds great, but they do not translate those percentages into time. And time is what actually determines whether you build wealth or stay broke. Let me show you what I mean. Let us start with where most people keep their money, a traditional savings account. As of January 2026, the average savings account in the United States pays about 0.62% annual interest. Some pay less, some pay a little more, but let us round it up to 0.5% just to keep the math clean. Now apply the Rule of 72. Divide 72 by 0.5. You get 144. Your money will double in 144 years. Read that again. 144 years. You will be dead. Your children will be dead. Your grandchildren will be old, and your $50,000 will finally have turned into $100,000. This is not safety. This is financial suicide in slow motion. But wait, you say, what about high-yield savings accounts? Those pay more, right? Yes, they do. As of early 2026, top high-yield savings accounts are paying around 4 to 5%. Let us use 4% for this calculation. Divide 72 by 4. You get 18. Your money will double in 18 years. That is better than 144, but it is still a lifetime. If you are 30 years old and you put $50,000 into a high-yield savings account, you will be 48 before it becomes 100,000, and by then, inflation will have eaten a chunk of that value anyway. Let me put this in perspective. The S&P 500, which is a broad index of 500 of the largest companies in the United States, has historically averaged about 10% annual returns over the long term. Some years it is up 30%, some years it is down 20%, but zoom out over decades, and the average is around 10%. At 10%, your money doubles every 7.2 years. That same $50,000? It becomes $100,000 in 7 years. It becomes $200,000 in 14 years. It becomes $400,000 in 21 years. It becomes $800,000 in 28 years. All without you adding a single extra dollar. This is the difference between wealth and stagnation. Not effort, not willpower, just math and time. Now let us talk about why our brains hate this. Human beings are terrible at processing exponential growth. We are wired for linear thinking. If you walk 10 steps forward, you expect to be 10 steps ahead. If you walk 10 more, you expect to be 20 steps ahead. That makes sense. But compound growth does not work that way. In the beginning, it feels slow, painfully slow. You invest $50,000, and after 1 year at 10%, you have $55,000. $5,000 does not feel like much. It does not buy you a new life. But by year 7, you have doubled. By year 14, you have quadrupled. By year 21, you have 8 times what you started with. The growth is not linear, it is a curve, and most people quit before the curve starts to bend upward. This is called present bias. We value immediate comfort over future reward. We would rather have certainty today than possibility tomorrow. So we leave our money in a savings account that pays almost nothing, because it feels safe, because we can see it, because it is insured. But safety is an illusion when your wealth is being eroded faster than it is growing. Inflation in the United States has averaged around 3% per year historically. As of late 2025, it was hovering around 2.7%. Let us round it to 3, for simplicity. If inflation is 3%, your purchasing power is cut in half every 24 years. Apply the rule of 72. Divide 72 by 3, you get 24. So if your money is sitting in a savings account earning 0.5% and inflation is running at 3%, you are not treading water, you are sinking. Your real return is negative 2.5% per year. That $50,000? In terms of what it can actually buy, it will feel like $25,000 in 24 years. You are not being cautious, you are being financially reckless. Let me show you what this looks like with real numbers. Imagine you have $100,000 to invest. You are conservative. You do not like risk, so you put it in a certificate of deposit that pays 5% per year. At 5%, divide 72 by 5. You get 14.4. Your money doubles in about 14 years. So in 14 years, you have 200,000. In 28 years, you have 400,000. In 42 years, you have 800,000. Not bad, right? Now imagine instead, you put that same $100,000 into a low-cost S&P 500 index fund. Historically, it averages 10% per year. At 10%, your money doubles every 7.2 years. In 7 years, you have 200,000. In 14 years, you have 400,000. In 21 years, you have 800,000. In 28 years, you have 1.6 million. In 35 years, you have 3.2 million. Same starting point, same time horizon, different rate, massively different outcome. The difference between 5% and 10% is not just 5 percentage points. It is the difference between 400,000 and 1.6 million over 28 years. That is $1.2 million left on the table. And here is the kicker. That difference compounds every single year. The longer you wait to move your money from the lower return to the higher return, the more you lose. This is called opportunity cost, and it is invisible until you do the math. Let me show you the other side. Let us talk about what happens when you wait. Imagine you are 25 years old. You have $10,000. You know you should invest it, but you are nervous. The market feels unpredictable. You do not know enough. You decide to wait a few years until you feel more confident. So you leave that $10,000 in a savings account, earning 1%. 5 years pass. You finally invest it at 10%. In the first 5 years, your money grew from $10,000 to $10,510, barely anything. Now it is in the market earning 10%. It will double in 7.2 years. So at age 37, you have 20,000. At age 44, you have 40,000. At age 51, you have 80,000. At age 58, you have 160,000. At age 65, you have 320,000. Not terrible, but now let me show you what happens if you invest at 10,000 at age 25 instead of waiting. At 10%, your money doubles every 7.2 years. At age 32, you have 20,000. At age 39, you have 40,000. At age 46, you have 80,000. At age 53, you have 160,000. At age 60, you have 320,000. At age 65, you have over 600,000. Same $10,000, same rate of return. The only difference is 5 years, and the gap is nearly $300,000. That is the cost of waiting. That is what procrastination steals from your future. Now let us destroy some myths. Myth number 1. I need a lot of money to start investing. No, you do not. You need time. If you invest $100 per month at 10% for 30 years, you will have over $200,000. If you wait 10 years and then invest $100 per month for 20 years, you will have about $75,000. Time is the multiplier. Money is just the input. Myth number 2. I will start when I make more money. Every year you wait is a year of compounding you lose forever. You cannot get it back. If you wait 5 years to start investing because you want to save up a bigger lump sum, you are giving up the most valuable years of growth. Start with what you have. Add to it later. But start now. Myth number 3. Investing is too risky. Leaving your money in a savings account while inflation eats it is also risky. You are just trading market risk for purchasing power risk. And historically, over any 20-year period, the stock market has never lost money when adjusted for inflation. The riskiest thing you can do is nothing. Myth number 4. I do not understand investing, so I should wait until I learn more. You just learned the rule of 72. You now know more than most people. You know that 10% doubles your money in 7 years. You know that 1% takes 72 years. That is enough to make a decision. You do not need to be an expert. You need to start. Now let me show you where the real damage happens. Not in what you know, but in what you do not see. Most people do not realize they are losing money because the loss is invisible. Their account balance goes up every month. They see the number get bigger, so they think they are winning. But here is what they are not accounting for. Fees, taxes, inflation. Let us say you invest in a mutual fund that charges a 1% annual management fee. You think 1% is small. It is just 1 penny on the dollar, right? Wrong. If your investment is earning 10% and you are paying 1% in fees, your real return is 9%. At 9%, your money doubles every 8 years instead of every 7.2 years. Over 30 years, that cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Fees compound against you the same way returns compound for you. Now add inflation. If inflation is 3% and your real return after fees is 9%, your inflation-adjusted return is 6%. At 6%, your money doubles every 12 years instead of every 7. Suddenly, what looked like a 10% return is really a 6% return, and the difference is enormous. This is why low-cost index funds are so powerful. They charge as little as 0.03% per year, which means almost all of your return stays in your pocket. So what do you actually do with this information? Step 1. Figure out where your money is right now and what it is earning. If it is in a savings account earning less than 1%, you are bleeding wealth, move it. If it is in a high-yield savings account earning 4 or 5%, that is fine for an emergency fund, but not for long-term wealth building. Step 2. Decide your time horizon. If you need the money in less than 5 years, keep it safe. Put it in a high-yield savings account or a short-term bond. You cannot afford volatility. But if you do not need it for 10, 20, or 30 years, get it into the market. Time smooths out volatility, and the longer you have, the more compounding works in your favor. Step 3. Choose vehicles that historically deliver 7 to 10% annual returns. The S&P 500 index has delivered about 10% over the last century. That does not mean it will do the same in the future, but it is the best historical benchmark we have. You do not need to pick individual stocks. You do not need to time the market. Just buy a low-cost index fund and hold it. Step 4. Automate. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your investment account. Make it so you never have to think about it. Discipline is hard. Automation is easy. Step 5. Use the rule of 72 to set expectations. If you are investing at 10%, know that your money will double roughly every 7 years. If you start with 50,000, you will have 100,000 in 7 years, 200,000 in 14 years, 400,000 in 21 years. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is a get-rich-certain plan. Let me give you one more example to drive this home. Two people, both 30 years old, both have $10,000. Person A puts their $10,000 in a savings account earning 1%, they add nothing to it. By age 65, they have about $14,000. Person B puts their $10,000 in an index fund earning 10%. They add nothing to it. By age 65, they have over $300,000. Same starting point, same amount of effort. The only difference is the decision they made at age 30. Now imagine person B also adds $100 per month to that investment. By age 65, they have over $800,000. This is not magic. This is just math. And the math does not care about your feelings. It does not care if you are scared or uncertain or waiting for the perfect moment. The math just runs. Every day you wait, you fall further behind. Here is the uncomfortable truth. The financial system profits from your ignorance. Banks want you to keep your money in savings accounts. They pay you 0.5% and lend it out at 6%. They pocket the spread. That is how they make money. Financial advisors want you to think investing is complicated, so you will pay them to manage your money. They charge you 1 or 2% per year to do something you could do yourself in 10 minutes. The media wants you to think the market is dangerous, so you will keep watching their updates and refreshing their websites. But the rule of 72 cuts through all of that. It gives you clarity. It gives you a timeline. It gives you the ability to make decisions without needing permission from anyone. You do not need a financial advisor to tell you that 10% doubles your money in 7 years. You do not need a bank to tell you that 0.5% is a waste of time. You do not need the media to tell you when to invest. You just need to do the math and act. So here is what I want you to do right now. Pull up your bank account, look at your savings, look at your investments, write down the balances. Then figure out what rate of return you are getting. If you do not know, look it up. It takes 30 seconds. Now apply the rule of 72. Divide 72 by your rate. Write down how many years it will take for your money to double. If that number makes you uncomfortable, good. That discomfort is information. It is telling you that you need to make a change. Then ask yourself this: if I move this money to something earning 10% instead, how much will I have in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? Run the numbers, be honest, and then decide. Because here is the thing, you can read this and nod along and feel inspired and do absolutely nothing. And in 10 years, you will be in the exact same place, or worse. Or you can take one action today. Open an investment account, transfer money, set up automatic contributions, and let time do the work. The choice is yours. But the clock is ticking, and every day you wait is a day of compounding you will never get back. The rule of 72 is not just a formula, it is a lens. It changes how you see every financial decision. When someone offers you a savings account at 1%, you do not think it sounds safe. You think it will take 72 years to double, and you walk away. Let me leave you with this. When someone tells you the stock market is risky, you do not freeze. You remember that over any 20-year period, it has never lost money, and you invest anyway. When you look at your bank balance and feel frustrated that it is not growing fast enough, you do not blame yourself. You do the math, and you move your money somewhere that actually compounds. This is how you win, not by working harder, not by earning more, not by getting lucky. You win by understanding the math, by giving your money time to grow, by refusing to settle for returns that do not move the needle. You win by acting now instead of waiting for someday. Because someday is not a strategy. Someday is where wealth goes to die. Today is when you start. Today is when your money starts doubling. Today is when the clock starts ticking in your favor instead of against you. Your future self will thank you. So do the math, make the move, and let the rule of 72 work its magic.